What's up, everybody? I want to take just a few minutes. This is not really a product review or an unboxing or anything like that, but I just want to take a few minutes to talk about these. My Alpinestars gloves, the GP Pro R3s. They are not the cheapest glove that you can buy on the market. They're not even like the best looking. I mean, I guess you might feel like they're pretty slick looking, but I've seen better. But these gloves, I think, really saved my fingers. I'll tell you why.
Send me to my grave.
Let me tell you about this little lady in my life.
Send me to my grave.
Relationship. Since neither of us ever really agreed on
Yes,
it.
yes, yes.
But I love her though. And I think she
I
loves
gotta
me.
speak me.
But you know how relationships go. Now check it out.
About 2 weeks ago, I was down in Georgia at a track day at Roebling Road Raceway. And the second day, Sunday, maybe 2 or 3 sessions before the end of the day, I got a little too ballsy and ended up taking a spill. I low-sided on Kesha, which I still haven't fixed yet, actually. But I'll show you a clip of my spill.
Well, that's the end of that.
And it wasn't that terrible of a crash. I don't really have any serious impact injuries. I hurt my wrist a little bit. It was a little sore for, like, even to this day, actually. It's been maybe a week and a half or 2 weeks now. So I think maybe when I was tumbling, I put my hand down. It looks like in the video I put my hand down and kind of came over it. So that's probably why my wrist is hurting. But I can't say enough about how I'm glad these gloves stood up to a crash.
Are your gloves toast?
No, they're alright.
What's that?
Yeah, pretty much I rolled on my back and stayed on my back.
Alpinestars gloves, man.
Yeah, dude, I just got these too, actually. I just got these because last year my gloves failed on me and I didn't even fall. At least for a couple feet, I was sliding on the pavement. I did hit the dirt pretty quickly after that, so you know, they're not going to take as much of a beating in the dirt as they do on the concrete. But in the places where these gloves actually visibly slid on the ground, and you can see right there, there's a little bit of scuff on the, you know, the wrist protector, exactly where they wanted the scrapes to be. It's like they almost put some research into this and designed it that way. But it barely scratched the surface of these gloves. And in contrast, last year at New Jersey Motorsports Park, I used a set of Barrett track gloves, which look really slick. They look really nice, but after 2 days at the track, actually I wasn't even at the track when I noticed. When I got back home, I noticed that there was a giant split in between the index and middle finger, or middle finger and ring finger, I'm not really sure. But not even going down, those gloves split at the seams. So I didn't want to use those again. That's why I ended up getting these Alpinestars. And I'm really not let down. I don't know if the finger bridge is something that kept my fingers together or if it really did its job, but I'd say overall, having a wreck and definitely putting my hands on the ground, these gloves look like they can weigh unscathed. I mean, there's, like I said, a couple scuff marks here and there, exactly where they had planned on scuff marks being. So, you know, this type of plastic that's on your wrist, it took a beating a little bit. You know, on the palm, there's a little bit of scuffs on the sliders there, but for the most part, these gloves are still good. I'm definitely not getting rid of them. Not for the price that I paid for them. That's for damn sure. But they're a little dirty still. They got like dirt in the knuckles. But even then, yeah, like you can see, they did take a little bit of a beating, but they're still in great shape, and I have all my fingers, and aside from like a little bit of a wrist soreness, these gloves did their thing. And actually, even the wrist, I probably could have had this tighter. I don't know if that would have given me more wrist support, but usually I leave them kind of loose so that I can just like slip them on and slip them off really quickly. Not the greatest practice, but yeah, maybe I even could have prevented the wrist soreness by tightening my wrist strap. I just want to take a few minutes to talk about them though, because a lot of times, myself included, I look at a price tag, you know, Alpinestars versus, for example, Barrick. There's a huge contrast in price between a new Alpinestars and a maybe like closeout price on a Barrick track glove. But I'd say there's also a giant contrast in build quality as well. These seams are awesome. They feel like a track glove should. They're not for everyday street riding, so you're not going to get the touchscreen capabilities or, you know, perfect nimble maneuverability with your digits. It's not really for that. And I'm really impressed. For a track glove, I'm really happy I purchased these gloves. So down in the description of this video, there is a link to Amazon to purchase these gloves if you're interested. I'd say check them out. If you're into track riding at all or aggressive street riding, these things could definitely save your fingers in the future. But just to be upfront with you, I do end up getting a little bit of percentage of that sale if you do purchase through the link. So click the link, help me out, support the page. If you're watching this on YouTube, slide over to my Patreon. I'm also on Patreon, and for as little as $1, you can actually directly contribute to my channel and help me expand and help me grow what I'm trying to get across to my viewers. I think that's about it. I'm hunkering down right now. We're in the middle of this pandemic. People, stay home. If you can't stay home, stay indoors. And if you can't stay indoors, for example, if you want to go for a ride, just stay out of people's faces. Don't collect in groups. Don't get in people's faces. Don't cough on things. Don't touch a whole bunch of stuff. So take my advice and just go to the grocery store one time, stock up on what things you need. Don't be greedy with it, but stock up on what you need and then just stay at home. Just enjoy this time that you're not at work, because when you go back to work, you're going to be wishing that you were sitting at home. Think about it. But anyways, that's all I got for you. Thanks for checking out my video, and as I always say, leave this world better than you found it. Take it easy. I just want to take a second to talk about Patreon. I post similar content between YouTube and my Patreon channels, but on Patreon, I give you a little bit extra. With Patreon, you can actually get behind the scenes footage, digital downloads, and a bunch of other stuff that's exclusive to Patreon subscribers. Now, Patreon also gives you the opportunity to contribute directly to my channel. Just like any public broadcasting network, whether that be radio or TV or anything like that, it takes money to actually make a channel worthwhile. Up until this point, I've been funding everything myself and I've been doing okay, but if you subscribe on Patreon for as little as $1, you can actually have a direct influence on the extent to which I can grow my channel. So please head over to my Patreon page, check it out, and if you feel like contributing, I would greatly appreciate it.